And good evening, folks. Welcome to Scarlet Watch Chronicles, where we discuss events happening in the Scarlet Watch campaign that happened before I really started streaming the game. We started streaming it kind of mid-story. I dropped everybody in mid-story, and it's like, no, this isn't fair. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things happening with it. So I decided, well, let's do history lessons. Let's do history of the world, history of the campaign. And that's where this show kind of started out of. Just trying to get background material on the campaign. The campaign itself's been running for over 3 years now. We've only been streaming for a couple of months. But there's a whole lot of back material, and not just the played material, but also the history of the realm and history of the world. It's my personal game world. I've been building and tweaking this for a very long time. Since I was a youngling, I've been tweaking and building this thing. It is the background and basis for stories I tell. It is a game world. It is a living, breathing entity, which makes it fun to play in. Grendel tonight could not join us tonight, so I brought in Bixie. Well, Bixie volunteered to come in.
Hello, Twitch world.
And I couldn't do this show about this subject without Bixie. Bixie is my in-game note taker. She takes them primarily for herself, but she shares them with us, which means it keeps me straight, sometimes keeps the party straight. Most of the time it keeps me straight, because I will throw out a name and then forget I threw it out, and she's already written it down.
Or at least attempted to spell it out. Some of them I'm like, hey, how to spell that?
Yeah. And I've copied and pasted either privately or publicly. Here you go. Or
I probably wasn't as good about names in the beginning, simply because I didn't think it was really important, and then when we needed to refer to them later, I was like, yeah, I need to make sure this is important.
Yeah. And I wasn't very good about naming conventions in the beginning either. I was just throwing names out there and went, yeah, okay, I'll write that down. Yeah, right.
That's what any good DM does. They just come up with it off the cuff and go, here you go. But it's up to us to remember it.
Yeah. Some programming notes here and a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this. Music you hear in the background is from Tabletop Audio. They do game music in 10-minute loops. Give them a look. Give them a follow. They are absolutely incredible. I have chosen a selection of music tonight just to kind of run in the background. Software, virtual tabletop software, is Fantasy Grounds Unity. Absolutely incredible piece of software. They've got over 30 licenses now that you can run with their software, so it's not just D&D. Very versatile system. Basics are fairly easy to learn, and then when you get in, the deeper you get in, the more complex it gets, and the more powerful the software gets. Another thing I highly recommend. If you miss any part of this stream or any of the live play stuff, I drop recordings over on YouTube. Again, with the Scarlet Watch channel there. We drop recordings there. I usually try to get them day after. I was horribly lax last week and didn't get things over until near the end of the week. For that, I apologize. Let's see, our YouTube. We have a Discord server. Links are in the about. So if you want to know more about us, want to chat with us when I'm not live and not streaming, pop on over the Discord server. If you got any questions about the game, again, pop over the Discord server. I will do my best to answer them, but I will not give spoilers. That is the nature of a forever DM. I love to talk about my game, but I don't want to give spoilers. Artwork for characters that you see here, the character portrait artwork, is done by Vector Moon Graphics. They not only do digital art, but they do some absolutely phenomenal physical things. I have one of their mugs here that I drink out of on a regular basis, usually when I'm DMing. I have one of those here. I need to refresh the screen. Give me just a brief instant so I can see what I'm doing live. Gotta love monitors. But yeah, I have one of their mugs, right? Let me see if I can get it in camera. There we go. And because of the in-house lighting, I run dark. See if I can get it down just right. There we go. That is etched glass they did for me. And yeah, the reflections and such is horrible for it. But there is a link to the artwork, link to their Facebook page. Give them a look, give them a follow. They are absolutely wonderful people. I love their products. I think that is everything. Programming wise, every other month on Tuesdays, and this is going to December now, or through November, Tuesday nights is Tomes of Samovar. It is a Faerun game with my homeworld twist on it. Every other Sunday is Scarlet Watch Dwarven Forge, which is where these history lessons come in. Opposite Sundays, I am playing over on Fizzy Pop Culture in Exiles. And on Friday afternoons from 1:30 to 3:30, I do Game Prep Friday, where I work on prepping for any one of the games I'm running or something new. And I usually go through mechanics here in Fantasy Grounds. If you like what you see, like what you hear, please give me a follow. I am in process of trying to get up to affiliate. Affiliate is 50 followers. I am at 37. And I would love to make it on up to affiliate so I can do some special things here in the stream. I believe that finally covers it all. Wow, that was a mouthful. So we are going to go into... And last week, my internet provider said, no, you don't get a stream. So about halfway through the stream, it cut me off. So I didn't get to go into as much as I wanted to last week. So this week, we are going to try to make some progress and get some room going here. And I'm actually working off of live game notes, or notes that were taken for the live game when we were playing this. These notes were taken about 3 years ago. So remembering exactly what happened can be fun. Where we left off last week was the party had started up north. Was at a way station. Let me correct that. Not a wait station, but a way station. Sorry, Vixie, I'm correcting your notes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm pretty sure that was an autocorrect.
Oh, yeah.
We love auto.
We love auto. Auto is so much fun. Yeah, you guys were at a way station. You had met members of the Stone Sentinel Council. Namely, one by the name of Silverleaf. And his familiar, which is a fire lizard. Think miniature dragon, folks. With attitude. This is more of a companion than a familiar for this particular NPC. He gave the party some gifts in terms of rings of protection. And give party the very specific provisions. So I'm figuring, by the way the notes read, I think what he did was give them profession equipment and stuff to make their lives a little easier. I believe that's what he gave them. They got fresh horses for the wagon and headed up to... Got the wagon from Oakenreach, which is one of the small towns up north. And as you guys were leaving Oakenreach, you saw smoke in the distance. And this is when at the time, one of our rogues hadn't multi-classed yet, and the rogues did some recon. And as you did some recon, you found out that town was on fire, and the leadership had been killed. I believe town is on fire, pikes with heads on them. Party goes around the town, see the damage, but you find no people or animals. You set some traps in town and do some tracking and find goblin tracks within the town. And both you and the other rogue, Indy, see goblins rounding up townsfolks to take back to a temple. And there you are ambushed and sneak away. Now that was the scouting party. Something about this party, they seem to like to split the party on a regular basis. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's, I think, what happens when you have a couple of rogues that want to go scouting ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're not as bad about it now as we were back then. Thanks for the lesson, DM.
Hey, what can I say? I give lessons. Sometimes some people are harder on learning them than others.
We were so young back then.
You
Look
guys
how we've
were.
grown.
You guys were. This was first, second level. You guys were so...
Yeah, we were babies.
You were compared to now. Oh my. Compared to now, you guys just would have walked through the door, kicked it down, and said, okay, who's going to die today? And that's all it would have been. Grendel and the Druid Aldine. Wow. Been a while since I've seen Aldine's name. He left the party a long time ago. Come back around, discovered goblins at the wagon. But they dispatched them quickly before they returned into town. As the rogues returned to the wagon, to Grendel and Aldi hiding goblin bodies. Yeah, hiding bodies is another favorite sport of you guys. I don't know why.
Nothing happened over there. You didn't see a thing.
You didn't see a
These
thing.
aren't the droids.
These are not the goblins you were looking for. Move along. And then Grendel and Bixie wait for a distraction team to give a signal to get the people out. You guys had a distraction team? Wow.
Hey, we were at least thinking outside the box.
You were. Grendel uses stone cutting to get into the temple. Get people organized inside the building to go through Grendel's portal. Distraction team starts by throwing clay pot full of weak old milk. Oh, that had to smell special. And then you start the extraction process as that distraction team goes. After you get the villagers out, Grendel closes the exit. And then you've got wargs chasing... Looks like Indy and Aldine were the distraction team. Which kind of puts it right. Aldine was a young elf. So that puts it about right. And they're set upon by wargs. And wargs are oversized wolves, for those that don't know what wargs are. And hey, we've got viewers. All right. Hey, guys. Don't be afraid to chime in, guys, and say hello. And if you need clarification on anything I'm talking about, please pipe up. This is a very interactive stream. Otherwise, I sit here and babble and ramble. Looks like you and Grendel, Bixie, get the villagers into the woods, into an opening that appears to be built by elves. You find remnants of buildings there with a cellar. And you get them in the cellar and lock them in the cellar. Must have been a well-hidden spot with goblins and orcs running around. Party meets back at the wagon after the goblins get lost from chasing the distraction team. And people are safe. You return to the way station at dusk and report in via a magic scroll. You guys had a scroll that was enchanted. As you rode on it, there was another scroll, a sister scroll, that received the messages. Do you guys still have that thing, or did you give it up? I don't remember.
Yeah, you'd have to check Indy's inventory, because he was Mr. Scrollman, Mr. Communicator. If anyone has it, it would be him.
Okay. Yeah, I just heard from Grindal. I was right, he had a hot day. One of those fun days. So yeah, he will not be joining us. He'll be joining us in chat.
That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look at Indy's inventory. I don't think you guys have that anymore.
I have a feeling that probably got turned back over when we completed this mission, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Because that would be real handy right now. A way to communicate.
Yeah, question is, would that still communicate from a plane of existence back to the home base?
That would be a very good question. Let's see here. Return to the way station. Report in. You guys get a visitor coming in on Griffin. Rider is a Timus Starfallen, Knight of the Rose. He's going to go ahead and take over the investigation of Northreach. He's waiting for a brigade to come in. He's waiting to get more help. And waiting on you guys to report back on how big the orc and goblin invasion is. You make plans to investigate the gambling pits and gain intel, and you plan to leave in the morning. That was the end of that day for you guys. This is right about the time things start getting... The campaign starts rolling. This is early campaign stuff. And I'm going to read this really quick here. Yeah, Grendel said he would join us in chat, so that could be him popping in. So, this is good. And if he's in chat, if he wants to pop into Discord just to chit-chat, he's more than welcome to pop in and put his 2 cents worth in. He doesn't have to be on camera. And I just realized somebody I need to thank. We do have a moderator in channel. He comes in, sits, and listens to everything. Usually doesn't have to do a whole lot, but I do appreciate his services. And that is Woden. Yeah.
All hail the Woden.
So it looks like you guys decide to hole up there for a bit. You get quarters for a week. And more provisions come in brought up to you. Head of the guard his name is Zeb. And they have sent scouts to spy to get us to the arena. And the arena is that gambling pit that was mentioned. Ye old arena. Looks like they lost the spy. They killed a halfling spy that was trying to sneak in from the front gates or looking for a possible side entrance. There's magic and guards at the front gate. There is rumored to be a top entrance, an aerial entrance. And this is when Chance, a tiefling, joins the party, an albino tiefling. Raven amulet and vine tattoos back of her wrist. Her wrist actually shows evidence of scars from slaver manacles. And I guess this is as good as time as any to talk about the slaver manacles. 'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah.
There are a few characters within the party that have a major grievance with the slavers.
Yeah, no spoilers here, because everybody in the party knows it. The next story arc after Dwarven Forge is going to deal with that. At least that's the plan. And I know all about best laid plans of DMs that second it hits the party, they're gone.
Ha ha ha. You had a plan?
I have an outline. I know better than to make a full-blown plan. I have an outline.
That is the smartest way to go, because you don't know when we're going to sidestep going left field. Chase the squirrel.
Chase the squirrel. Well, once I got you guys semi on track, I try not to present too many squirrels. I don't succeed, but I try. I really try not to present too many squirrels.
The avenues we get are the ones you offer, so there you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to kick on my fan. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little warm sitting here. But, yeah, but sometimes I'm not thinking I'm throwing out a squirrel and you guys go, oh, look, shiny. Yeah, Woden. Yeah. First contact and that plan's gone. Absolutely gone. It's amusing. But yeah, it's gone. But slaver manacles. And it's bad when the DM also gets squirreled, because, yeah. So the slaver manacles, the manacles that the slavers use to track and control the slaves, are actually a magic item. They're a mass-produced magic item. They are a wrist manacle with a chain that comes up to a ring that'll either sit on the ring finger or the middle finger. They are enchanted to provide tracking. And if a slave escapes, go out of tracking range, they start to heat up. Or if somebody tampers with the manacle, they will heat up, and they will heat hot enough to actually burn the hand off. So it is not too uncommon for an escaped slave to have severe burns on the wrist and all the way up to the finger, and missing a finger. Troublesome slaves get 2 of these. And there is rumored to be a neck collar as well. I do not believe any of the party has seen one of those. But it is rumored to be there.
Well, I think there's actually a couple of them may have seen it, but not necessarily experienced it.
Yeah. Experience-wise, I think there's... Well, Chance had experienced them. I know Bixie has personal...
oh no, Bixie has seen.
Yeah.
Being the rogue that was in training, and her mentor and everything that her backstory has, yeah, she has absolutely seen them.
Yeah. They are unlocked by either a special key or a gem. They have to make contact with the bracer. Dispel magic will not work to unlock them. So yeah, those are the slaver bracers. They are nasty. They are meant to be nasty. They are, well, people are a commodity. And trained people are a expensive commodity. And these folks are business people. They will keep track of their commodities. Chance joined the party. The party talks about strategy to enter the gambling pits without dying. Zeb gives you guys a map of the trails and possible entrances and climbing gear. You guys get climbing gear. Looks like it was borrowed. And you are able to visit the camp store for extra provisions. I think this is where you guys got some of the little oddities you picked up, and definitely extra weapons and such. And this is where our scholar rogue, Andy, gathers information as you guys gear out and learns that there is an aerial entrance. It was a former aviary for griffins. And you also get intel that the arena holds fights once a month, or once a week, and then a grand finale once a month. So a main event once a month. This was your first hints to the bigger plot. As you guys head out, weather turned bad. It was winter at this point. You guys break camp as the weather turns. You wake up to snow. Cold snow, yeah. And you begin to continue to travel toward one of the trailheads that Zeb sent you to. And that's where you see black smoke billowing on the horizon. As you crest the hill, you spot a 3-story stone tower with fire coming out of the windows. A warning to the audience, this is going to get a little graphic. It's not horrible, but it is going to get a little graphic. I remember this.
Yeah, the tower is a significant point. If I'm not mistaken, we visited the tower at least twice. And this was our first experience with the tower.
Right. This is you guys finding the tower. This is known as the Arcane Tower. Chance, your new member, the Tiefling, tries to sneak up closer and finds 4 bodies laying down in the snow. As the party approaches the tower, a large raven swoops in to attack Valeth. Valeth was our paladin at the time. And as he swoops in, Valeth shoots it out of the air. And that was the end of that game session. We took a break there. The joy of having people playing remotely and having people in 5 different states, at the time 4 different states, and the holidays. We actually took a break for the holidays there. Holidays and Ren fairs. When we come back, it was a raven battle. You guys had large ravens attacking from the air. And then somebody was firing into the party from the tower. As one of the ravens gets hit, it explodes. And as it explodes, you guys discover it's actually a mechanical thing, not a live creature, but it is a mechanical, some sort of mechanical device. Because Chance was hit with gears. And this is the infamous, I'm not going to say famous, because no. This is the infamous gnome yeeting. We had a paladin, very strong, and Bixie is 3 foot nothing, if that.
Oh, she's 3 feet tall, but she always claims to be only 2 foot nothing.
Yeah, she's small. She's not tiny. She's small. She's also light and armed to the teeth.
Well, better now than she was at that point.
Yeah. At this point, she wasn't.
If I'm not mistaken, the paladin talked her into being yeeted to the top of the tower.
He did.
It wasn't her original. Yeah, he talked her into it. She was like, you know what? All right, let's just do this. Why not?
Yeah. And the paladin takes the gnome and does a version of Fastball Special, but instead of throwing her into combat, he throws her up on top of the tower. The tower had a big landing up to the 2nd level. So he yeets her up there. Unfortunately for Bixie, the archer was up there, and the archer was no slouch.
No, if I'm not mistaken, he was actually the boss of this particular battle.
He was. He was the captain of this
and
particular group.
She was battling him solo while everybody else was trying to get through the mobs within the tower.
Yes. As Bixie was yeeted up to the roof, Chance, who is our tiefling cleric, tries to knock down the door and it doesn't budge. She eventually gets the door open and met with the swing of an axe from a man covered in blood. This again was your first encounter with some of the nastier things in the world here. The other rogue climbs the tower wall, and Chance rings a bell, casts Toll of the Dead on the bandits. And does some damage there. As Indy is climbing the wall of the tower, he goes by an arrow slit, and he's attacked through the arrow slit with somebody wielding a scimitar. This is a good-sized battle. As Chance enters and starts casting spells, she starts getting attention, and the attackers come attack her. And this is when you are facing off with the bandit leader. And this is where Bixie actually dies. Bixie actually dies right here.
Yep, and she remembers that too.
Oh yeah.
This is why she's like, oh, we are never eating the gnome again. Ever.
No, you mentioned yeet the gnome to Bixie, and she's like, oh no. And it's not only no, it's hell no. And the party has learned not to mention it even in jest. It's like, nope.
The players, on the other hand, mention it, but yeah.
Yeah, the players will joke around about it, but the characters, no. Characters don't want to wake up short-sheeted. And that's putting it nicely. You fall right as the other rogue Indy reaches the roof. More bandits join in from a hidden door. The cleric makes it up to the top of the stairs as Indy is fighting off the bandit that killed Bixie, that killed you. Our druid Aldine fighting on the stairs and is first to the second level, followed by the paladin. Now, the odd thing about this fight, the paladin actually sat most of this fight out, which was odd and kind of a sore spot with not only me, but with the party. Grindal follows in as well. And finally, the paladin engages. Indy does a heal check and actually stops the saving throw process on Bixie. So he stabilizes Bixie. The last bandit is captured by Valeth. And Chance comes in clutch and heals Bixie. And then Paladin comes in, Valeth comes in and heals Chance and Bixie. You guys investigate the tower. Now, this tower is a site of a massacre. It's actually not in your notes, but I remember this. The bandits had come in. This tower was actually a key strategic point here in the Vale. It was manned by mages and other people that were able to do watching. And these bandits got entrance and slaughtered everybody that was there. And the tower itself was a bloody mess. Absolutely bloody mess. They left bodies in the beds, and it was, yeah. You guys find some magic items, and you find a trap door that is a very well hidden. It's actually an elven keyed trap door. And when you come in here, this is why the tower is so important. As you guys go through that trap door, you come into a workshop. And this is your first encounter with one of the gates. One of the teleportation gates, isn't it?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Yeah. It is 2 inlaid circles. The outer circle... Well, both circles have ruins on them. Trying to remember, is it... Yeah, it's the outer circle rotates. The inner circle stays, or do both rotate? Remind me how I described that, because I don't...
I think all of them were pretty much the same. You had either 2 or 3 rings to do like a dial-in combination.
Yeah. It was...
Some gates would only go to specific locations, so they only needed 2 rings. Some of the greater portals
would run 3. Yeah, I think
more locations, so they needed 3 rings.
Yeah.
But they all moved, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, all rings moved. And for the audience, for description, think a floor-embedded version of a Stargate. And that was the inspiration for that, was Stargates. But, yeah, this is... And it's essentially you have to know what glyph, what rune goes where, and the right combination. And unfortunately...
This is when we started guessing.
Yes.
Oh, who are we dialing up this time? I don't know. Let's try this.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys started playing with locations, and...
It's like, are we calling for pizza, or are we going home? I don't
know. This is also where Valeth goes outside and starts a communion with his god. This is where, in real time, this is where Valeth's player could no longer make game, and he leaves the group. His schedule, our schedule conflicted, and he was having computer issues. Chance or Cleric sketches the symbols on the portal, makes notes, and Indy IDs some of the symbols, some of the glyphs. Next session, this is where, let me look at this here, because something looks out of place, note-wise. Okay. And while part of this is going on, Bixie and Grendel actually investigate this big workshop. And this is where you guys find a lot of mysteries. You find, this is the first hints of advanced prosthetics and, firearms. You guys find, tools to make firearms here.
Yeah, I remember that. There was all kinds of parts to make guns, but not enough to actually make a single gun.
Yes. It had everything but the firing box, the chambers it takes to actually fire the weapon.
Yeah. So you could build everything that looked like a gun, but it would do nothing but look like a gun.
Right. And I believe Grendel either locked all that up. I think initially you guys locked it up.
Oh, we locked up the entire tower. If I'm not mistaken, when we came back the second time, it was really ripe because there were still all the dead bodies inside. So yeah, we locked that thing down magically.
Yeah.
When we left it.
So you guys come down and find Valeth outside the tower. He's still praying, and he's in a bubble of protection. Like I said, this is when Valeth's player leaves. Chance is curled up asleep as well. The party can't wake her. This is also when Chance's player had to leave too. Her real life got interesting enough to where she had to leave as well. So she was really only with us for one session. A session 0 with her and then one full session.
Bixie is very thankful she was, because otherwise Bixie would be no more.
Right. Well, I enjoyed having the player. I enjoyed the character. Rest of the party comes into the room. That's right. Bixie and Grendel investigated the room on their own and then brought the rest of the party in. There, now that makes sense.
This was kind of I believe that session was during the intermission through the holidays, so
it was.
We just got together and chatted and talked about things. And then when we actually got back into play, it was Bixie and Grendel were investigating the workshop while everybody else was outside recovering and taking inventory and looting anything else that they could.
Right. And
so that was more of a simultaneous in-game.
Yeah. Yeah, every once in a while I'll hold little side sessions. Not very often anymore because the party don't split that far up. Usually when the side sessions happen is right as we're wrapping up a campaign or a story arc, and right as we're starting one is when all the side sessions happen. Hey, we're making progress today.
I've just made a realization. Amphibolus came in right at about this time.
Yep.
And he's been with us a long, long time. I didn't realize that your NPC player had been in there that long. No wonder we're all attached to Amphibolus.
Oh, you guys are so gonna hate me.
We're not gonna hate you. Our characters might.
Yeah. But Chance is asleep. You can't wake her. And the rest of the party goes down into the basement. Your druid, Aldine, starts making potions out of the alchemy kit. Yeah, it is a just wait kind of thing. Very much, Woden. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting session. And as he's making potions, the gate starts turning. This is when you guys figure out that thing actually turns. It's a loud... It starts to glow and spin and then finally lock with a loud thud. Bixie and Indy hide. And there's not a whole lot of room to hide in that room. There's not a whole lot of spaces to hide.
I remember Bixie hid in the cabinets.
Yes.
She just climbed in one of the lower cabinets and closed the door going, I don't exist here.
Nope. Once everything stops spinning, the room is bathed in very bright light. And when the light fades and you guys get vision back, there is a fire ganassi and a halfling there that has appeared there. That is, the fire ganassi is our, pseudo-tank.
Yeah, pseudo-tank for sure. Yeah. In walks Simber with a halfling cleric, and we're all going, what?
Yeah. Cleric is an older halfling with attitude. He is the epitome of a curmudgeon. He's old, he's tired, he's grumpy, and he's saddled with a group of kids.
If he could say, get off my grass, he would.
Yeah, and several languages. Yeah. And would put language in the middle of all of them, yes. Amphibolus talks with Aldine and Grendel. And find out that Amphibolus and Simber are with the... and this is a little bit of retconning here. excuse me, are with the Stone Sentinels militia and a group called the Scarlet Watch. You guys share breakfast and exchange notes. And, okay, I think your notes are wrong here. Or I changed it. I probably changed it later. I'm infamous for that.
Yeah. I would say that's likely because, I mean, I'm taking this stuff down verbatim as we're going through it. If things mutate and change through time, they do.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I have been known to change some things to make the story flow a bit better, make it a bit more sense. And yeah, you guys are really good about calling me out. Wait a minute. And I will go, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a retcon. I'm sorry, guys.
We're here to keep you honest. Promise.
Yeah. Or make me flush liquids through my sinuses. One of the two.
We got to keep score. We got to keep long-term score on that one.
That is not a sport.
Says you.
No comment. But this is where you guys are told that the arena is actually a Goblin Griffin training area, which was actually later changed to the arena was actually originally called the Airy. And hey, Paulette, welcome to the stream. Again, this is history of the campaign. Thought you could sneak in. So, but this is Amphibolus. You find out that there is a secret entrance on the roof of the arena. And the party goes, oh yeah. You also try to wake the paladin, and this is when the paladin's deity goes, no, I'm recalling him. He's under recall. I'm recalling him. And Chance's sleeping form has disappeared as well. You find signs that harpies... Oh, harpies. I love harpies.
And harpies love Indy.
Oh, yes. Yes. This was the beginning of the harpy torture for poor Indy. You find that harpies have captured Chance. But you guys go in the direction on maps to find a secret entrance. As you're on the trail, the harpies attack. You engage and defeat them. I don't think that was a very hard battle. I don't remember.
No. It was a little bit challenging, but it wasn't overly challenging.
Yeah, because you had lost your heavy hitter. You guys had lost your paladin at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, you guys had lost a paladin, a cleric, a bard. Is this where we lose Aldine as well?
No,
No,
I don't think
he's
we
still
lost
there.
him until a little bit later.
Yeah. But, and you guys find Chance's body there at the camp. And Amphibolus comes in and slips a ring on Chance's finger and ports her away. This is your guys' first hint that Amphibolus is much more than what he seems to be.
Yeah. She had some pretty bad wounds.
She did.
From after the gears hitting her, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up basically writing out that character.
Yeah. We give her a decent write-out. Honestly, I try to give anyone that plays their character a decent write-out. I don't kill them. I just try to write them out of the story. No need to kill a character needlessly.
Right. Well, and if ever they are able to come back into the story, then their character didn't die. They just had somewhere else to be.
Yeah. And in all honesty, this is just something that I do for me. Is I try not to have a meaningless death on a character. Bixie dying on the roof bothered me a lot. It really did.
Well, that was a lesson learned. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't expect the big boss to be at the top. We expected him to be somewhere inside, and oops.
Oops, yeah. Yeah, and that was a lesson on both sides, my side and your guys's.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if Bixie had been a little bit higher level, I think she would have actually come close to defeating him, but...
Yeah.
I think she made it at least 3 rounds before she died.
Something like that. I could probably dig back through.
It was 2 or 3 rounds of combat before she died, and they were only, I think, level 2? Maybe?
2 or 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys weren't very big yet here. You still hadn't come into your britches yet here. And I'm thinking you guys were level 2 because I don't think you had your class specializations yet.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
So yeah, you guys were only level 2. And I brought Amphivolus in as a lower level than what he actually is. Yeah.
He's still a lower level than what he actually is.
Yeah. 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 But I don't want you guys to have a, oh, look, this is a nice big crutch. No.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Amphivolus could probably raise the whole party in a single swoop, but that doesn't mean he's going to.
Correct. You guys search the camp. You find out the humans in the camp had been slaughtered. They're in mismatched armors with the Slavers Guild tattoo. Otherwise now known as a consortium, but that's for later on. That was...
Well, we hadn't discovered that, and honestly, I don't think our characters have actually discovered that.
No, you haven't yet, actually.
Yeah. Well, there may have been rumors that some of the characters who have seen the slavers and stuff might have known about it, but not to be well versed in understanding it yet.
Yeah. Bixie finds a pin with the 5 towers of stone sentinels. You guys look for clues and loot. Clean up the camp temps. Look for a spot to set up camp on yourselves for a short rest. And this is when Aldine wanders off. So yeah, this is where we lose Aldine.
I still think, and Bixie still thinks, that he just went into beast form and decided to stay in the woods.
Yeah, we might eventually address what happened to him. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Again, that was somebody's character. I don't want to screw with it too much. Indy goes over notes and discovers a page in the tome that fills in as he's reading it. So this is when he finds his enchanted tome. Describes...
Everybody wants a book that writes itself. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, isn't it wonderful, a magic item that you can't see its brain or don't know where it thinks starts talking to you? Doesn't everybody want one of those? I promise it's not cursed. It describes a northern griffin training area. Also give you guys a map to the upper entrance. Markers on the map are from a lost clan of a dwarven. So lost code from a dwarven clan. You guys take camp and start taking turns on watch. Last watch, you see a large feathered beast fly by in the sky. Large winged beast. You leave a note for Aldine and Elvin that you're headed north, and you leave breadcrumbs, and you find the first marker for the trailhead that's listed in the tome after some difficulty. And Amphipolis leaves a marker for Aldine there so he can continue to follow. You guys continue to hike on up into late in the day. You're not sure if you missed a second marker. And this is where, Bixie, you find a small cave, narrow opening that opens up into a wider cave. You guys make camp. This is one of your first waypoint caves. Waypoints in the world are several little things. This is a cavern that actually had a natural chimney to where you guys could get a fire going, and smoke wouldn't reveal your position and also wouldn't smoke you guys out of camp. This was also the spider cave.
Tasty spiders.
Yes, this was...
If I'm not mistaken, we tried to get something from the spiders. Whether it was, like, poison or... Yeah, Amphipolis wanted to get a fang from one of them for...
Yep.
Spells. Potions.
Yep. And this was Indy's first bad run-in with spiders. That has turned into another long-running thing.
I still think he'd take harpies over spiders.
You know, I might have to do that. Put spiders one way, harpies the other way, and see which way he goes.
That's only if you want to push Indy back.
Oh.
That would be a good way to do it.
Oh. You know, the paranoia, the mental stuff these poor characters have, the things I've put these characters through is just brutal. It is absolutely brutal, the things I've put you guys through.
You know, Indy's young and he's impressionable, and he's trying to find his way in this crazy world of yours. And you're giving him good psychosis coping mechanism. Well, that's an interesting thing. Custom monster, spider crossed with a harpy. So let's go a little further. How about a drider? I want to take his little fantasy away because everybody's giving him a hard time that the harpies are after him and lusting after him, and you'll find out later that feathers just randomly appear to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he didn't like them, if you give him a spider harpy, he definitely will hate them.
You know, we could go drider harpy. Really, really make the poor guy twitch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Be afraid, Indy. Be very afraid.
That would be an interesting monster. It would be terrifying. Stat-wise. Oh, good God, that thing would be terrifying.
Yeah, are you sure you want to work something like that up?
Yes. Wow, there wasn't even hesitation.
Lord help us.
There wasn't even hesitation in that thought. Yes. See, Woden even agrees with me. Yes. We might have to do that Friday. Make that custom monster Friday. We'll do it live.
And everybody, this is how you feed a DM.
Please feed your DMs. We get hungry.
Nom 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 nom.
Sorry, I'm trying to kick my fan on. I have a new fan. And there it goes. Where I've got my desk, you guys can't really see it because I've made it that way, is in a corner. There is zero air movement in this corner. So I sit back here and I start to bake. I'm not a small person. So I sit back here and I start to bake. So I got a fan back behind me. So we are halfway point in the show. We are at the 10th day of playing. Good grief. Wow. Oh, this is where the game gets... This is where things start getting interesting, though. So at this point in the campaign... I can
say the plot definitely thickens from this point on. Like, seriously.
Right. This is the turning point of the campaign. This is where we have all but one of our current players... All but two, I'm sorry. Yes, Grindal. The thick plottins, yes. Yeah, Grindal's in chat. This is where the players start to really gel, is right here. Indy is looking at the map in the morning here as you guys get up. And he finds... Oh, yeah. This is something you guys have yet to figure out. Or to get too far into. You find a phrase written in the margin that says, magic is the key. And he gets talking about it to the group. And Grindal remembers it part of a poem that says, magic is the key, but death is the lock. And Indy finds another phrase in the book says, through the door of life. And this is when Grindal recalls back when the dwarves had surface holds as well as mountain holds. They would bury the dead underneath trees. So they would become, the tree and the body would become one. Essentially, the body would fertilize the tree.
So you wanted haunted forests?
Well, there are a couple of those, yes.
That's exactly how they made haunted forests, too, isn't it?
Would I admit to that as a DM? Would I admit to that?
Oh, you don't have to admit it. We just have to discover it.
Yeah. No, not at all. No. See, I'm an innocent. I really am. I'm innocent. I just got to remember to renew the batteries in the Halo. Amphibolus goes gathers twigs and vine. As chat gets in on the action. So Grendel thinks, the burying the dead with the tree has something to do with the phrase on the map. Amphibolus goes through, gathers twigs and twine while making, and starts making you guys snowshoes. He is a crafty little snot. He really is. Because when you guys leave that cave, there was a considerable amount of snow on the ground. I think this is about the time that Bixie starts riding on shoulders, too.
Maybe. Yeah, I think while we were in the cave, there was a lot of snowfall over that night.
Yeah.
So when we get up in the morning, we're going, wow, everything's really white.
Yep, everything's white. Your trail is absolutely obliterated. And because of that, you guys get lost in the snow. As you're trying to find the way to go, you and Indy spot something in the sky that could possibly be a griffin. You follow it in the general direction till late in the day. And near the end of the day, you guys stumble across a set of dwarven stairs carved into the rock face. This is ancient dwarven work. There's a dwarven rune there. And the rune is carved. It is an old safe harbor rune. And with that rune, there was a little knob of some sort of button there that Indy spots and presses. And as he presses it, a hidden door opens for you guys. And this was... yeah. Oh boy. This is your first hint of the dwarven technology? Is that the right term? This was one of the dwarven outstations you guys found.
Yeah, I would say either that or the engineering feats of that particular group.
So as you come in there, you find pockets carved out, look like bunk bed. Everything's covered in dust. There's a fire pit with decayed wood. It had been here so long, the wood had started to decay. And your exploration and Indy's investigation, he finds another button near the door and finds some drawers in the wall. As you open them up, you find contents of the drawers. There was rotten food, some sealed jars. The jars weren't making any sound. First one didn't make any sound. The second and third sounded like either liquid or grain. There are musty blankets there. And Grendel goes out and goes hunting for wood. And as he's out, he hears an eagle call and spots a griffin in the sky. Or sees a griffin take flight, I apologize. Simber opens one of the jars, it just makes no sound. Opens one of the jars, it didn't make any sound. It has a cracking noise as you guys open it. It sounds like something popped. You open one of the jars that shakes. It's rice. And Indy finds another one with grain alcohol in it. Indy closes that jar back and actually hears it seal back. And again, this is more of your first encounter with dwarven engineering. I personally liked this cave. I felt this was rather... I liked this setting when I put this together for you guys. As you guys reseal everything, the jars, as you close the jars, they reseal. They're a magic item called Jars of Preservation. I don't think you guys took those either. I think you left them.
Oh, we were going to take them, but a ghostie came in and told us, no, you don't.
Oh, that's right. This is...
Uh-huh. Yeah, we were gonna take them for the road, you bet. Who doesn't want something that's gonna automatically preserve and refill and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stopped us with the ghost that went do it and die.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Indy discovers the last jar is it's a decanter of endless water. Grendel comes back for the night. You guys seal yourselves in the cave. You find another entrance that you guys suspect cave would have if it's caved in. You're not sure. You find scorch marks on ceiling and walls. Yeah, this was a pretty involved site And it actually gets better the more you guys explore. As you guys explore it,
Yeah.
you find treated cookware.
There was a back door that we assumed had been destroyed for some odd reason, whether it was an emergency or something, but something had happened.
Yeah. Andy gets brave and tries the booze. Decides it's too strong. Must be medicine. Simber tries some. Simber's a fire ganassi and grain alcohol. That was interesting.
Yeah, boom shakalaka takes on a whole new meaning with that.
Yep. And that's when you discover the decanter of water is an endless decanter of water. Amphibolus partakes, and you take the water bottle. Simber wakes up in the morning without any aches and pains from injuries and such you guys had sustained. And anyone that drank the water are well rested. You eat rations, and you guys cover yourself in ashes to cover your scent. That was an interesting... Oh, I know why. Harpies.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's griffins flying over, we really didn't want them to know we were about, if I'm not mistaken. It may have been something else.
Yeah. And you guys did pack up the jars. It's noted here you guys pack up the jars, and as you go to leave, that's when you guys meet the guardian of this little spot. And he only talks ancient Dwarven.
Little translucent dwarf.
And I hope I'm not boring everybody with this. You guys, talk with the dwarf about entrances and such. And he lets you know that you're about an hour away from the Aviary, which is what he calls the arena, was the Aviary. And this is where you guys find the ruined Aerie. You guys actually make it to the top. And you see ruined buildings, and you hear what sounds like an eagle's scream. As you follow the trail, you encounter the griffins. Multiple griffins. And this is our first hint that Simber can be a wild card. Instead of combat, she just sits there and admires the griffins.
Look at the little pretty bird thingies.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, that's kind of what saved you guys from battle, is Simber not being hostile and being calm, and then India whispers to the griffin in Dwarven, friend. And apparently it understood him, because then it just kind of lays down and loafs. Yeah, this is where you started residing. This is where your bag come in. I don't know where you got your bag, but this is where your bag comes in. Your little residence bag that sits on Indy's hip. Because you just about get knocked out of it here. So somewhere in amongst this is where you set up your... I wouldn't even call it a bag. It's more of a...
No, this is like her. Think of it more like a genie in a bottle.
Yeah.
Only it's a Bixie in a bag.
It's a Bixie in a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, Bixie's kind of lazy. Doesn't like to ride horses. She, energy conservation. Why should I walk my tiny legs twice as hard as these humans when I can just hang out in somebody's belt loop and craft while I'm traveling? So yeah, she has a little bag she hangs out in.
Yeah,
It's
it's
come in handy a few times that, you know, is that a Bixie in your pocket or are you just happy to see me kind of thing?
it's not quite a bag of holding. It's more of an extra dimensional space keyed to Bixie. And I don't remember how we crafted that, but yeah. It's been a long time ago, man. That was 3 years ago when we
Yeah.
built that.
It's been a little bit. It was after the riding of the horses up through when we scouted out the orcs and stuff. She just like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather just sit in a bag and be carried.
Yeah. It was.
So between that and this run up north,
Uh-huh.
that she had the bag created. But yeah, when the griffin decides to knock her out of the bag, she's a little scared.
Yep.
She has no idea what she's saying, but she repeats what Indy said. It's like, well, Indy made him nice, nice. I'm gonna make nice, nice too, in whatever language he said.
Yeah, and you also give it food offering, which is, yeah.
Oh, of course.
You guys scout the area eventually, and you find a sealed door seam that is about 55 feet long. So you guys actually discover, this is what you later figure out is the top of the arena. The arena has a ceiling that they can raise and lower. And you guys have discovered the top of this ceiling, the roof side of this ceiling. And you guys find the edge of a door. And it's the edge of a trap door. No, it's just a regular door, it looks like here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the door that we at the big bay door was like open hatch, let the griffin fly out, but these smaller doors were like an access door, and this is where we filed down.
Yeah, this was the trap door.
And gained entrance the first time.
Yeah.
And it got a little hairy later in this nice little tight chamber
Yeah.
tunnel with a ladder in it. It was basically a hole big enough to climb down the ladder, and that was it.
Yeah, it was a 10-foot square hole with a ladder attached to the wall. And that ladder went 200 feet down. So using the handrail express was not an option.
Not unless you wanted to get hurt.
Yeah. Kind of want to get, because I know you guys did a scouting mission here in the area, in the arena here. You guys do climb down this ladder. And you find another door at the bottom that appears to be... Okay, yeah, you guys get down there and discover you're essentially found the back door to the arena. And, you know, at this point, I think I need to bring up the map for the arena. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely help with explanations of what the area and the quote-unquote arena is and how incredibly large it is.
Yes. So let me find that image here real quick. Thank you, Fantasy Grounds, for search functions. Yay! This was... This was a lesson for me in Fantasy Grounds. Don't make your maps too big or complex.
Well, you know, you have to test the boundaries to know where the boundaries are.
Uh-huh. And it's
I
obvious.
think the sheer size wouldn't have been as bad if it wasn't so involved with so much going on.
There was a lot going on. I did a whole lot of dungeon dressing in here. And then the other thing that caused issues was the party didn't split once, didn't split twice, it split 5 times.
See? Challenge accepted.
Yeah. But that was later on. That's when you guys came back. But
yeah, this was the first initial scouting it, figuring out what we were up against. And of course, everybody's their jaws dropped, going, "We're 4 or 5 people. This is oof."
Yeah. This was the instance where you guys did something most D&D groups don't do. You looked at this and went, "Oh no! We're not big enough to be in here. We're going to leave." And that's what you guys did.
Yeah.
Looking at
as
this,
characters, we went, "Nah, I don't think so." As players, we're going, "We got to level up before we can come back to this."
Yeah. And how I wrote this was supposed to be small strike missions. Come in, do some strike, go back out. Come in, do some strikes, go back out. And you guys went, no, hold my beer.
Yeah. At first, we were going, "No, this is too big for us." And then we regrouped and went, "Jump in, full force, all feet, do it."
Yeah.
And there we go.
But this little spot right here, it is a 10-foot by 10-foot room with a ladder. And that's where you guys ended up, was down here. And this was the original scouting mission for this. You guys actually didn't really go in here a whole lot. You came in, you poked around. And I'm looking at this map and I'm cringing at this point. I really am. Because I see my mistakes. I picked too busy of a background. You really can't see some of the effects I put in.
Okay, stop picking. These were the early days. This is showing progress from where you were to where you are.
Yeah. That's why I keep this map around, is because, oh yeah. But you guys come through here, and you find the 2 big doors. This set of doors, and I know you can't see it unless you're watching the stream, but there's a set of big double doors you guys find that are big enough. It's essentially a 20-foot wide hallway, and you could open doors to make that completely open. And you find the arena itself. I'm going to go back to the notes, because there's quite a bit that goes on right here. You guys actually open it and find 3 humans in studded armor and 2 hobgoblins. Indy closes that door, tries to bar it. I think it was... Okay, yeah, this was a side door you guys opened. And the alarm is sounded. You guys defeat a couple, and you drag the bodies into this little tunnel. Here you guys are, hiding bodies again.
Yeah, we did oh god, we'we've been discovered. Here, take the evidence away. Hide back in the hole we came from. Lock it down, and then they couldn't find us.
Yeah.
So we're all crammed on this ladder in a little 10 by 10 chimney, basically, with 2 dead bodies at the bottom, going, "Shh, don't make any noise. They won't know we're here."
Yeah. You guys exit the tunnel and return to the guard station to rest for the night. And I think that's the Dwarven station you guys returned to. I'm not sure. And again, this is where Amphibulus pulls things out of his pockets.
Yeah. No, we went back to that cave with the beds and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dwarven, the cave, yeah.
Yeah, we went back there because it was fairly close.
Yeah, it was within an hour. And this is where Amphibulus...
So we trucked on out and went, "Nope, we're gonna rethink this one.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys go check, please. And this is where Amphivalus again shows hints that he's much more than than what he's saying he is. He brings out a couple of rings that he's got wrapped up, and uses them to contact the city, Stone Sentinels. And he talks with somebody via a projected image. And you guys update her. And she offers you guys 500 gold each to gather information, get numbers, and such that are there. And she agrees to send ingredients for explosives to blow things up. And send more people to assist you.
Like, that's not an incentive to go into a deadly arena of death.
Yeah, offer adventurers explosives.
Bribery. Lots of money and boom boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy tries to reach out to the guardian of the station. And you guys talk about how to renew the magic at the station there. It's known as a safe hold. This is where you guys learn about safe holds. And also, this is where you learn history of the area, where you discover there was more than one Avery. You offer magic items, which recharges the safe hold.
Oh, that's right. We took that cursed ring.
Uh-huh.
And fed it.
Yep.
We fed that cursed ring to the safe.
Yeah.
And things started powering on and doing the things, and we're like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, this was your first real taste of dwarven engineering and some of the what I later call techno magic, some of the magic that happens here in this world. This was your first taste of that. And
I'm reading. Yeah, we fought over that stupid ring too, Simber and Bixie.
Yep.
Simber wanted the ring, and Bixie was like, "No, we're sacrificing it." She had picked that up sometime back. I don't even remember when she picked up that cursed ring, but we knew it was cursed.
Yeah. Chance give it to you, so you knew it was cursed.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that was back when we still had Chance, and Bixie stuck it in her bag of holding without touching it.
Uh-huh.
Because she just knew. She was like, nope, that needs to go away for safekeeping. Nobody needs it. And when she pulled it out to sacrifice it to the room, to power up the room, to see if it would power up the room, Simber was like, no, I want that. She was drawn to it because, it's cursed.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up tossing each other. I slapped it out of her hand, and yeah. We had a little scuffle over it before I ended up getting it back from her and putting it in the tribute drawer.
And actually, that whole exchange is here.
Yeah, at least the overview of it is.
You guys feed it, and the accommodations are upgraded. The place actually powers up. You guys eat, drink, and you guys... There are 2 more ghosts that show up. 2 more sentries. And you talk about strategy, how to infiltrate again, gather more information. And you guys ask for communication stones. Then you guys sleep and you have the same dream. You guys have a shared nightmare. And this is where you guys get...
Indy.
Yep.
Anytime I have a shared dream, I always blame Indy.
This is where you guys have your first run-in with the demonic forces. As you guys wake up from the dream, there is a box at the entrance to the cave with a shop emblem on it, a vendor emblem from Ridge Runner, which is Ridge Runner is a service in my world. Think the old Sears and Roebuck catalogs, the ones from the 30s and 40s, where they're about the size of a phone book, and you can order anything from a house to a pair of underwear from it. And you can make your orders, and they do their best to deliver them anywhere in the world. They have a whole delivery service. And you guys are delivered a box of goodies.
And this is where we got those lovely ascending stones.
Yep.
In order to communicate with each other.
Yep.
Or we asked for ascending stones.
Yep. You asked for them, and this is where you got them. They came in the box.
This is where we got the delivery of them.
Yep.
Special delivery from Ridge Runner.
Yep. And this is also where you hear a legend of a fallen warrior. There's a warrior's tomb somewhere in the area. This is where you hear that as well. I think, campaign history-wise, let's see here. You guys divvy up the contents of the box, which is, you guys are paid in advance. Oh my. You guys actually got paid in advance.
Well, we knew Amphibolus would tattle on us if we took the gold and ran.
Yeah.
Of course, with as powerful as Amphibolus was, he would have just went,
Yeah. You guys also got healing potions and cloaks. You guys actually got elven. This is where you got your elven cloaks from. Boy, I give you guys a whole lot of stuff. I need to start taking it away.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We still use these things quite proficiently at this point.
I know. Oh, wow. Hey, Troll Lords. Troll Lords Games just followed us. Hey, Troll Lords. Thanks for the follow.
Awesome blossom. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And if you guys haven't followed them or haven't seen any of their streams, they do a daytime stream, I think Wednesdays or Thursdays. They do a daytime stream talking about their games, their game systems, what's coming, what's not coming, and general talk. Troll Lords Games produces Castles and Crusades and Amazing Adventures. They're actually a great group of people over there. They are out of Arkansas and have some wonderful products. I have a few of their books here. Thank you, Woden. I really appreciate that. But yeah, they're actually pretty good people. I thoroughly enjoy listening in on their stream. Thank you guys for dropping in. Sorry it's kind of a boring history lesson and not an actual gameplay. We do actual gameplay every other Sunday. But thank you so much. Yeah, give them a follow, please, guys. They're good people. I actually know one of their artists. I've seen a lot of some of the artwork in the player's book. I actually got to see as it was early drafts. So yeah, just incredible people. They really are. And that's my talk up for Troll Lords. Yeah, they are very, very nice people. They're good people, very personable people. They're not your typical game design people where, they don't really want to, I don't want to talk to the little guy. No. They'll talk to you guys all day long. And you offer to run a game for them, they're happy campers in. Because a lot of them are like me. They're a forever DM. I do get to play, guys. I'm actually playing in 2 games. Yeah, people are letting me scratch that player itch, which is very, very nice. Our moderator runs a game, and he lets me play in it. I'm kind of a guest in the game. We're supposed to wrap that up this week. But yeah, give them a like, give them a follow. They're great people. So let's get through divvying this up And through this session here, I have the feeling the party would let me stay as well. I'm trying to make sure I don't have too many irons in the fire. You know, I have people that want to make sure I don't burn out and don't overtax myself. I wouldn't know who any of those people are, but yeah.
Nope, I wouldn't know any of them either.
No. These are the same people that make sure I take care of myself. I'm kind of attached to some of them. Oh. So you guys divvy up the goodie box. And, you guys go back up to the Griffin's Nest. And, let me read this, because this isn't making sense here.
Yeah, this was a weird little step back in and
yeah,
do some things.
Okay, yeah, this
was just a scout ahead of where are the baddies? Can we all get down there? We were way more cautious this time coming down into that.
Yeah, I know where we're at now.
Door.
I know exactly where we're at now. Yeah, you guys infiltrate in again, and you sneak through. You open the door closest to the ladder chamber, and realize there's still guards there. You close it back. You go the other direction. And this is where you guys actually enter the arena itself. And you discover the arena actually has teleportation circles, has gate circles in it. And as you guys enter it, ogres are ported in. And you start combat with ogres. And as you start combat, you guys start hearing cheers and...
Yeah, we just decided to waltz right into the arena and became part of the show. That I remember.
Yeah. You're hearing cheers. You see small orbs appear around the room, up well out of your reach. But obviously they were scrying portals or something watching you. This is the first time you guys see Grindel fire one of his weapons. Actually fire one of the guns he has. So you guys are probably...
Cannon?
Yeah, you guys are probably right around level 5 here.
That sounds about right. I think we had a little bit of a boost of, ooh, we can do something awesome now. Let's go back in there and see what kind of trouble we can create. And then we walk right into the middle of the show.
Yeah. You guys fight the ogres, then you defeat them and their collars light up. And the bodies disappear. And this is when a disembodied voice pipes up, "Welcome to the arena." And that's where you guys... I left that on a cliffhanger. Oh, you guys are so mad at me. Because that's when we took our winter break. No, that wasn't winter break. That was spring. We didn't play again for a month because of Ren fairs. Yeah. I think... What is it, 8? We've got 20 minutes. I'm going to change tracks here a little bit. We're going to, well, no. Hang on.
Really want to put the viewers on a cliffhanger right along with your players?
Would I be that cruel? Would I be that mean?
I don't know.
Actually, no. We're gonna go a little bit further into the history because I realized where we were at. Yeah, no. I wouldn't leave the viewers on a cliffhanger, not for a whole month. No.
This is why I take notes, though, so we can come back a month later and go, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, after the ogres are ported away, this is when Amphibolus takes a look at the rings in the floor and realizes they're not only teleportation. Let me scroll up, because you actually wrote this down. This was important. Sounded like a teleportation device. There are 3 rings. One's global, one's local, and one's interdimensional. And Amphibolus looks at them, starts recognizing some of the runes on them, some of the sigils on them. He can't recall what all the glyphs are, but one is definitely where you guys are at. Takes 3 to... This is when he starts talking about how these actually work. Takes 3 to activate and transport. You guys try a couple different combinations, and again, that disembodied voice kicks in and says, nice try, now it's my turn. And he summons 4 harpies into the arena to fight you guys. Poor Indy.
Harpies everywhere.
Yeah. You guys quickly dispatch these harpies. Absolutely quickly dispatch them. And this is when the party puts their heads together and gets three runes together and activates this portal. And you guys go from the open arena to a pitch black room. And with true portal magic, it is like your stomach dropping out. You guys are... It feels like one of the descriptions I've read was... Feels like somebody takes a shepherd hook and grabs your stomach sideways and yanks. And it's one of those feelings. But you guys appear in a pitch black room, and Simber's never run into... Well, she's run a teleport once, but not to this degree. After you guys appear in a pitch black room, somebody produces light, and you find you're in a round wooden walled room with a dirt floor. There are the portal again. There's a portal runes on the floor, and there's signs of the portal opening on the floor, and that you hear sounds of running feet coming closer along the wall, and the wall slides open, showing a door. And you guys are greeted with people in plate armor talking an unknown language. And 2 more appear in robes pointing rods at the party. Indy attempts to communicate, and one of them can actually speak common. And you find out you're on the Isle of the People. You guys are actually ported yourselves to the secluded Elven Isles. And as we discussed in one of the earlier streams, elves have pretty much removed themselves from the main world. They're not happy to see you. They're really not happy to see you. And they're very...
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, they were very surprised that the portal opened, because the portal hadn't been used in quite a long time.
Yes.
At least not incoming.
Yes. You guys follow him down the hall of a hollow tree, and they take you out amongst catwalks. The city's actually built up in the trees. You guys are about 150 feet up. You guys go through several places and eventually given a spot to sit and rest, as one of the elves, his name was Kimmel, lets you know that it's a festival day, and you can't stay because it's one of their holy days. So they send you back to Stone Sentinels via the portal, and that's when you discover that they didn't think the old portals had been were active again. You guys let the elves know what's going on, then you're sent home. Before you're sent home, he actually talks about the day the Aerie fell. And it took orcs and giants to defeat the Aerie. And this was your first hint that the towers in Stone Sentinels was something more than what most people thought they were, because he asked if the towers were whispering. And that's when Bixie admitted she'd been hearing voices from the towers.
Yes, I remember that. Briefly before we went up to the Aerie, she had been walking around Stone Sentinels, and she had touched one of the obelisks, and it felt weird to her. She's not a magic user, so anything that felt weird, she's like, whoa. And she had heard the whispers from inside the obelisk.
Yeah.
A solid obsidian obelisk is making noises, and she didn't say anything to anybody until this point. She had kind of kept that secret.
Yeah, this was my attempt at foreshadowing, is what this was. The elves teleport you to Stone Sentinels, but don't do quite a clean teleport. You guys actually appear above the ground in the square of Stone Sentinels and drop to the ground. As you drop to the ground, this is where you meet your mage. This is where you guys actually pick up your wizard. Well, actually, you land on your wizard.
Nothing says hello like dropping out of the sky, right?
Right. He realizes you guys are dusty, dirty, bloody. Cleaned your clothes and your armor using prestidigitation. You meet his familiar, and you guys go to Shadow's Haunt. And Amphivalus leaves the party. And leaves Cimber with the party. You guys meet with the proprietor of the haunt to debrief. And that is when she tells you guys what the Stone Sentinels actually are in the city. So, the city name is derived from 5 monoliths that are actually in the city. They're obsidian monoliths. And this is where the city name comes from, is those 5. They're called the Sentinels. This is where the party discovers the Sentinels is actually a device keeping a gate to the 9 hells closed. That is underneath the city. And their normal position is actually way out at the compass points, the far sides of the city. As the gate fails, they're moving into closer to the center point. Hence the term the Sentinels are walking or the Sentinels are talking. Both. And this is when the party finds out. Their contact in the city, her name's Tina, says she needs at least 3 days to a week to get things situated so they can send you back to the tower. And this is where we take a break. Yeah, we take another break here. And I think this is where the party levels and everything else. And that is where I'm going to leave tonight, is right there. Because we take a break, we add a new member to the party, you guys add new skills, you level up. And believe it or not, that was 13 days of playing. I actually moved the story along quite well in that, didn't I?
I think it moved along quite progressively. There was a lot to take in. There was a lot of interesting twists and turns. The surprise in the arena and then the dropout, I think, in out of game, I think we had come to that realization about the arena being too large. And I think that was kind of the reason for the back out in the story. and why we backed away from doing anything in the area to find solutions for that, which drove this story to a real interesting twist.
Yeah. This is
where
this is where some interesting things really start happening, is right here. And I think this is a good stopping point for tonight. So as a programming note, Chronicles is going to go on a hiatus till December. This will give me time to actually write some show notes, if I remember to write them. In its place on Tuesday nights is Tomes of Samovar, which is a live play. We play on Tuesday nights for a couple of hours. It is not the main storyline. It is another side storyline that is happening right about the same time period as Dwarven Forge. Good group of veteran role players for that particular game. I absolutely enjoy running for that group, or DMing for that group. It's an interesting group. They're not my normal. That group is all old veteran players like myself.
So something I want to side note is that most of this in the Chronicles is actually prior to, this is the campaign prior to the Dwarven Forge that's currently running. This is not actually the beginnings of Dwarven Forge.
Right.
Is that understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Am I communicating that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the campaign itself, thank you. The campaign itself has 3 story arcs. What we're going through here, what Chronicles is going through, is the first story arc. Dwarven Forge is the second story arc of the campaign. And once you guys are finished with Dwarven Forge, I've actually got a third story arc. And that will wrap up the Stone Sentinels campaign. Hopefully.
But of course, everything that we're dealing with in the current Dwarven Forge campaign stems from and has a lot of connection between this. Understanding this first storyline helps in understanding some of the reasoning and some of the things that we're doing in Dwarven Forge too. Yeah.
And a lot of the character back history and such was built right here in this particular arc. Grendel being called Forge Master was built here. Indy's fear of spiders and harpies was built here. And Fibulus. The grumpy old man.
Fibulus. Yeah, I had totally forgot that he came, went, and then later returned to the group.
So did I. I had. It's like, oh. Yeah, I think what it come down to was I thought you guys might be able to handle it without a cleric, and yeah, no.
We were wrong.
We were very wrong. But it's time to pay bills again, so to speak. So we're going to thank a few people here. We will start with Fantasy Grounds. It is the tabletop software, virtual tabletop software that I use, that we use to play D&D. They have well over 30 licenses now, if I remember correctly. They are an absolutely wonderful piece of software. It doesn't take a whole lot to learn the basics. And then once you get the basics down, you can do deep dive into all sorts of automation into it. The people behind it are just absolutely incredible. They've got a Discord channel. They've got a wiki. There's another group of people called Fantasy Grounds Academy. If you need help in Fantasy Grounds, all you have to do is ask. And anything from fairly basic things to complex, oh my god, I think I flushed my campaign, what do I do? If they can replicate it, they can help you, or they can at very least give you starting points where to look for things. The map, this big map here that I cringe at, I built this within the first couple of weeks of having Fantasy Grounds. So the software's fun. It's easy to use. I love it. It's easy enough to learn quickly, complex enough to really, really make you go, oh. The music you hear in the background is from Tabletop Audio. They provide royalty-free music in 10-minute loops. The music's absolutely wonderful. I love using them. I am going to look at Sirenscape for game effect and sound effects. You can actually integrate Sirenscape in with Fantasy Grounds. So if, somebody hits, somebody casts a spell, you can actually integrate that sound effect with Fantasy Grounds. I just haven't done it yet. Not a priority for me. Character art done by Vector Moon Graphics. Thank you so much, Vector Moon Graphics. We love the art. We will continue to plug you guys shamelessly. Yes. The streams are also being recorded. As I record them, I do my best to put them up on YouTube after the fact. And there is a YouTube channel, same channel name. It's Scarlet Watch. Please go over there, give it a like and a follow if you've liked anything that you've seen here today. That would be greatly appreciated. We have a Discord server. If you want to talk to me about game, talk to us, meet the players. They all are on Discord. We have a Discord server. Come join us, talk with us. And who knows, I might be talked into doing a one-shot with other players. I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment sometimes. Stream-wise, every Friday afternoon from 1:30 to 3:30 Central, I do Game Prep Friday, where I come in and I work on game prep for any of the games I'm running or things I'm planning for. This Friday, we're going to go through spell effects, or spells themselves, and how to set up spells that you can actually bump the level on and increase power on spells. We're going to do that. We're going to work on a few other things. Just kind of clean up some of the automation that I use heavily. Every other Sunday, we have Dwarven Forge, which is our main campaign. And then the opposite Sundays, I play over at Fizzy Pop Culture and Exiles. And have I forgotten anyone or anything? I don't think so. Finally, last but not least, I can't do this stream without you guys. I love doing it, but I also like my audiences. Thank you so much for popping in on the stream. If you haven't already and you like what you've heard and seen, please give me a follow. I am working on getting up to affiliate. I am now up to 38. Thank you, Trollord Games. And, yeah. We really appreciate everybody that has come in, give us a like and follow. I do my best to produce a decent show. And I enjoy this. I enjoy this a lot. The game started as a personal thing, and it has grown into much more than what it started as. So at this point, I think I'm going to take a look, see if we have somebody to raid to. Let's take a look, see who's available. Oh. Okay, I'm going to drop us into a music channel. This is a couple from the Philippines. They're both actors. He was in the live-action version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I think we're going to...
Favorites.
Yeah. And looks like they just started their stream. They are a hoot. They're an older couple, and they are absolute a hoot. I absolutely get a kick out of listening to them. So we're going to drop in and raid on them. Again, folks, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And here we go, folks.